Okay, hello, how are you doing tonight? I'm going to do a little quick tutorial on how to create a really quick character in the Roll20.net Pathfinder First Edition character sheet, and we're going to be using the um, character generation tool that they have. So first thing is, when you get your character set up, you'll have your character sheet here. You can upload an avatar to represent your character, which I will do now. I'm going into my artwork library, and I'll just grab some image, and we just put this. I don't care. So that's our avatar. Okay. Save changes, and I did name him Testor. Testor is my testing character that I always use when I generate stuff. And there he is. Okay. So his name is Testor. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to, let's close this. And now we get three options. We can use the Charactermancer, which is the one I'm going to be showing. You can make him NPC, but you have to type in most of those stats. It's usually better for monsters and other things, and then you can just edit the sheet directly, which the Charactermancer saves you from having to do a lot of that extra work. So in this video, we're going to be doing just a character where all of where the race and the class are in the SRD, System Reference Doohickey, I guess what you call it. So, human, elf, dwarf, halfling, half orc, all the stuff that's there. And then the classes would be like, fighter, cleric, wizard, all of the generic stuff that you could get. So if you wanted to make a human fighter or a dwarf paladin or a halfling rogue, this is how you would do it. Okay. So we'll use the Charactermancer. Okay. This is the first little page. It says start. So you just, hit next and start. Now for the campaign that I'm planning on running, we're going to do a point buy system. So instead of the ability scores generation choose, we're going to go to purchase. And I had told people that we're going to do high fantasy, so 20 points. And then you automatically get a table here for all of the 6 stats, and it's required to pick one. So if you just go straight 10s, right, costs you no points. If you want to hit an 18 on strength, it shows you when you just use 3 of your points. Okay, so for this example, let's see, we're going to make Testor, we're going to make him a human fighter. Okay, so let's just say 17 strength. That's 7 points. Wait, how's that? 7, 8. Oh, that's how many points you have left. Okay, so we'll go 16 strength. Okay, so they got 10 points available. We want to give him some dex. Want to give him some constitution. Let's say he's going to be a nimble fighter, right? So maybe we can recoup a point in charisma and maybe intelligence. And well, he's still got 6 points left. So let's just bump up bump that up. We still got 4 points. We don't have enough to buy any more dex or con, but let's see. If we dump that down, then we can maybe bump up his dex a little bit. We'll say he's a nimble fighter. And we still have 3 points. So 2 and there. Okay. So no, -2. Okay. We'll take charisma back down to there. Okay. And that's Testor's. stats. Okay, then you click next, and now it says choose a race. Well, I said he's going to be human, so you notice this is PRD, player reference doohickey. I think I called SRD. I think TSR is SRD. This is PRD. Maybe it's Pathfinder role playing doohickey, whatever reference doohickey maybe. We're going to pick human. You can pick any of those if you want. But if you notice here, there's a description that explains everything about him. So humans get +2 to 1 ability score. They're medium size. They get a 30-foot speed. They get a bonus feat just because they're humans. They get an additional skill rank at first level, and 1 additional skill rank whenever you level because you're a human. And you get to start with common. And if your intelligence is high enough, which ours is, you get to pick an additional language. Okay? Then it says right here, common, languages, all that stuff is right over here. Okay, so as a human, we get to do +2 to an ability score. So let's add that to our let's add it to our dex. And our bonus feat, we're going to pick. Oh, why not? Let's do. Let's go with. Weapon finesse. So if he wanted to, he could add his dex bonus to certain weapons. It's required for other things in the future, which are for nimble fighters as well. And after that, our next is class choices. So then we'll just hit next. We choose a class. Well, I said he's going to be a fighter. Okay. And again, here's all the fighter information. If you change your mind, you can always pick something different, right? He could be a monk, but I don't want him a monk. I want him a fighter this time. Okay, got to pick an alignment. Let's just say he's neutral good. And so he gets 2 skill ranks plus his intelligence modifier every time he levels, but he also gets some additional 1 for being a human too. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These are his class skills because he's a fighter. And he gets a bonus feat because he's a fighter. So let's pick. What should we pick? I don't know. This is an example character. It doesn't really matter, right? So let's go with weapon focus. Then we'll have to pick which weapon that is. No, I don't. Yeah, okay. Weapon focus gives them a +1 attack bonus on whatever weapon we choose. So whatever bonus feats that the class gives you will be there. In this case, the fighter gets to pick a fighting one. So there that is. And it says, combat feat, prerequisites. Proficiency with a weapon. As a fighter, you get proficiency with most weapons. Okay. Starting wealth, we're going with the max. So in this case, for him, it'll be 175 gold pieces. Okay. Favorite class? No. Alignment, neutral, good. All that stuff is fine. So click next. Now we're on skills. So he has 4 skill points, right? He has 2 because he's a fighter. He gets 1 because of his intelligence, and he gets 1 because he's human. So that's 4. So let's put Let's see. The ones with the check marks are the class skills. So let's put one in ride, put one in survival, let's put one in, well, it's a -1 mod. I think that's probably charisma based. It is. Put one in climb, and not a whole lot left, is there? Put one in swim. Okay, that's all 4 points are spent right there. If you want to start over again, you can hit clear. If you just want to change one, you can uncheck it and check something different. But you notice right now we're at -1 because I did both. Okay. Next, choose a feat. Okay. His race bonus feat is weapon finesse because he's a human. That's what I chose for being human. His class bonus feats, but he gets a feat anyway. So let's go with let's see, combat expertise. You can take a -1 penalty on melee attacks and close maneuvers to gain a +1 dodge. Or we can just do acrobatic, +2 on all acrobatics and fly skill checks. Or we can come down here. We could give him can you actually have that? Let's see, combat. 13 dex, 13 intelligence, staff combat expertise, dodge, mobility, spring attack. Okay, so he doesn't have all of those, so we can't have that. But he could have combat expertise, right? Intelligence 13. He cannot have that. Athletic. Climbing. No, I don't really care for that. I mean, combat reflexes, he can take additional attacks of opportunity. Sounds good to me. Spells. He gets no spells because he's a fighter, right? And then you have a chance to review. If you're ready, click apply. You've generated this off 20 points. You're a human fighter. These are your stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Hit apply. And then it will generate your character sheet for you. Just on those choices that you've made. So there we go. 16 strength, 16 dex. Combat finesse really doesn't work for us though. But this is an example character. We're not going to actually use him. And his name, you can put your player name in there, give him a deity, homeland, all that stuff you can just, you can put that stuff right in here. It's all there. And there's also stuff here in the configuration. So you can see it put in our class D10. Oh, but hit points, right? Yeah, and our first level characters, we're going to do maximum. So as a fighter, he gets D10 plus Constitution. Constitution, he gets +1, so he has 11 hit points. All right. Any racial modifiers you get here, he got +2 dex because I chose that. his armor class. His primary modifier for his armor class is dexterity. You know, if he's a dwarf, you can say, you know, hey, no, that's not it. It's no, right here. Never modify armor class or encumbrance. If he's a thief or whatever, you can say can't be caught flat-footed. You know, if you have that particular thing, usually it'll check it for you. And that's that. If you need to add any additional feats, you can. Like if the game master says, "Hey, you get, you know, you get acrobatics because you were in a circus," so you'd add it right there. Boom. These are your features and traits, like racial features and other traits that you get. You just click on the plus, you add those there. So then, as you would be creating your character, you know, you've got your gold you have to spend, right? So you would add your gear here. You'd say, you know, like, okay, let's see, my leather armor. I don't have the book in front of me. But just say leather armor. Okay, we got one. And let's say the weight's, you know, 25 coins. I don't know what it is, but haven't looked it up. And then there's that. So he's got a rapier. You know, as you buy the stuff, you put it in there. It doesn't ask you to how much you spent, obviously. This is just for weight purposes. So it tells you how much weight you're carrying. So you can look here. He's light at 76. Once he gets above that, he's in medium. His strength things are there. Any additional gear like rope, you know, anything, I don't know, whatever. So all that stuff would go into this page under additional. And then weapons and attacks. So let's see, you know, we bought him a rapier. Right? So you say, got a rapier. It's a melee. It's a, I don't know. This would be on the table in the player's handbook, which I do not have in front of me at the moment. I apologize for that. But my thumb drive with my PDF files kind of bombed on me. So, and then you say, okay, so let's say it's +3, right? Either way. Versus armor class. It could be versus touch if it's a, you know, touch attack. Whatever. Then you put like critical range. Maybe it's 18. I don't know. Could be. I haven't looked at it in a while. Range is 10 feet. It's 1d6 plus strength for damage. Let's just say that's not a slashing, it's a piercing. I mean, whatever. You can just put that in there. Critical multiplier. Any bonus dice, whatever. If there's a different damage type, you can put that in there. Let's say, you know, it's a flaming sword. So you can say it also does D4 plus, you know, whatever the fire damage multiplier is, you can add those in there. Any additional attacks it has. And then you save that. Okay. So, whenever you're fighting and you've got your character sheet open, you can click on that and roll the dice to do all the math for you right away. So if you're doing this, you have to make sure that you get it right. So let's see, senses to be like, I don't know, dark vision, 30 feet, if you're a dwarf or whatever. And that's how you create a character in this game. So we can, should be saved. Then that's your character and he's created and you can pop them on the map, and you can move them around, and you can pull it up. I'm still working on some of those details, but you can, you can say, hey, this is his armor class. This is his lemon OP. This is his total hit points. And that information just shows up right there. Let me just say this is his usually like armor class, hit points. I don't know. So we just put his race. Human. Okay. It's all right there. But that's a topic for a different thing. This is just trying to use the Charactermancer on a basic, normal race, normal class kind of character. Okay. I hope you guys found this to be helpful. If you have any further questions, while you're working on this stuff, just let me know. If I don't know the answer, I'll look it up. If I can't find it, I'll make it up. Okay? So thank you all, and I hope you have a good day.